Hi there, this is Steve Spurrier. You can join University of Florida Hall of Famer Shane Matthews and also the two-time SEC Player of the Year every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about the Florida Gators, including news, analysis, opinions, and some of the biggest names in sports. You can find him on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Or you can watch him live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter.
Good morning. You made it, folks. It's Friday. It is a live edition, a Friday edition of PodUp with Matthews in the Morning, coming to you from the International Diamond Center Studios. Locations across the state of Florida, right there at Celebration Point in the heart of Gator Nation. Go check them out. International Diamond Center. Lady Gator softball wins yesterday. Shootout. They will play Alabama. JC, let's have a lunch bet.
Okay.
And then your number one Oklahoma Sooners were upset by the Georgia Bulldogs.
Wow. Damn college softball, I tell you. Give me Oklahoma.
They're out. They got upset, JC.
I know, but when the real playoffs start, I'll still go with them. But QB, listen, if you were tuned in heavy yesterday to Win with JC and you jumped on those baseball plays, you would have had the Rockies winner, the over 8.5 on the Yankees winner, the over on the Nationals Twins 8.5 winner, the Pirates winner, the Marlins winner.
Wow.
Then you would have lost on the Flyers, but you would have won on the under with Cleveland, but you would have lost with Cleveland, but you would have won with the under in the Flyers and Carolina game. So
are you keeping stats like what your record is, JC?
No, I should do that, I really should. Now that we're getting into summer and there's going to be volume plays. Oklahoma City, minus 15.5. I just said if you feel like fooling around, they're going to cover against the Lakers. Lakers have no players left. But I'll tell you, a team you better watch out for. It's amazing. In the American League East, you've got the Yankees and the Rays. Basically the same record. The difference is New York's got a run differential that is very, very lavish, and Tampa's run differential is more flat. But the Rays are really solid. I watched a little bit of that game with the Red Sox last night. They've got some hitters. They can run the bases, and their pitching is, this organization basically pays their roster minimum wage. Okay, they pay them minimum wage, and they still kick everyone's butt. It is an amazing organization to do what they do with so little resources, and yet they just find these players. And it's really a great story, I think, at Tampa, if they ever get it together with their stadium and so forth. But QB, this weekend it looks like we're gonna have a little rain here in the area. I'm heading to Texas, so I'm gonna go watch the Red Hot Cubs play the Rangers tomorrow night. But here in Gainesville, you're gonna have the Kentucky Wildcats in town, and hopefully the weather cooperates, although I'm looking at the forecast and it's kind of spotty off and on, but it's definitely going to rain, and I know we need it and blah, blah, blah. I'd rather not have it. But the Kentucky weekend is big for Florida to keep the momentum going. It was a good week last week.
Yeah, for sure. I want to give a shout out to former South Carolina quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Even Garcia has stage 4 colon cancer. Our thoughts and prayers go out to him.
So, yeah.
As he battles this, but anytime you play for Coach Spurrier, you're kind of in that quarterback fraternity, and he won a lot of games for the Gamecocks.
Well, his biggest and best game of all time was in 2010, and they played
Alabama,
the very athletic Alabama team, and he had a Hall of Fame performance. It was him, and I think it was Sidney Rice. Maybe it wasn't Sidney Rice, but it was one of those wide receivers. Jeffrey, maybe it was him, but one of those receivers that Coach had to throw the ball to, and boy, did they just turn tricks that day. It was a great day for South Carolina. It was probably one of the best days of all time in that stadium for that fan base.
Yeah,
I remember very well. 2010.
JC, who is Florida's playing Alabama today? I think it's at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and then Georgia is playing. Do you know who Georgia's playing?
I got to be honest. I have not kept up with the softball. I'm waiting for the regional. Sorry.
I watched this play yesterday. We were fortunate to win. If Keegan doesn't, if she pitches like she's pitched the last 2 weeks, we have no chance.
Right. And I saw Auburn scoring a bunch of runs, and then I just said, I don't want to
In a
watch
ton
this.
of home runs.
Yeah, Auburn was just running the bases, but Florida was too. But pitching is man, you can't let these teams score all these runs. I know these girls are better these days, and the conference is great,
Well,
but
Auburn, they have a under 500 record.
yeah, they're not right. They're not one of the better.
Georgia's playing the defending national champs, Texas. Thanks for that, Kanye Ron.
God bless Kanye Ron. He and Barone and MSRK and Nat Blaylock. These guys, QB, we are as much a part of their day as brushing your teeth and using Listerine. They love it, and I love that they love it. I'm glad they're with us every day, and we try to do the best we can on a consistent basis. Consistency, QB. That's what everybody looks for.
Yeah, I mean,
They look for
there's
consistency.
points of the year where there's not a damn thing to talk about.
Well,
But
I mean,
big
QB,
weekend series for Gator baseball. They have to sweep Kentucky, in my
well,
opinion.
it's a big one, yeah. And listen, this thing with the regional Baseball America, there was an article in the Gainesville Sun that had what Baseball America, a couple other services predict for Florida's regional hopes, and all of them predict Florida will host this regional in Gainesville or
Yeah.
a regional in Gainesville. The question is who's going to come. I'm going to go with the Baseball America prognostication of NC State, Nebraska. It'll be somebody out of the Big Ten, I think, and then North Florida will be here, and we saw them this week get run ruled basically. So, look, I think Florida's in a good spot. If they really have a great SEC tournament, I don't know if they're going to be high enough to get to a top 8, but I think they're somewhere around 12, 13, or 14 in terms of seeding. Win the SEC tournament, though, if there is a reason to do that, would assure you maybe a top 8 seed. I don't see why it wouldn't. And if you get a top 8 seed, then the road to Omaha goes through Gainesville. One of the roads do.
Text on the Titan MRI text line from Jonathan. He wants to know our thoughts on Golden Tempo not racing this week.
Well, they talk about that, and I know about that much about horse racing, QB. You and I both are not race folks, but they do this because of the health of the horse. Some tracks, if this horse ran the same type of race that he ran at the Kentucky Derby, he wouldn't win the Preakness because it's the shortest track of the Triple Crown. But there are people that watch this racing stuff that are only interested in the fact that there is a possibility of a Triple Crown. If this horse doesn't race, there is no chance of that, obviously. So the Preakness is the shortest course. The horse came from behind last week. He probably runs that kind of race. He'll be great at the Belmont in all likelihood. But remember, these horses are worth a lot of money. And if you win the Kentucky Derby, you're going to be studding them up, baby, getting them ready to start impregnating. And once he does that, you're cashing. Okay, so I get it, and I understand these horse owners and what they're doing. You win the Kentucky Derby, that's just about as good as winning the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
Not quite, but you win the damn Kentucky Derby, and you'll be remembered forever. So, yeah, Triple Crown winners are rare and few and far between. But if I own that horse and I see what my stud fees are going to be, and I know I can run them in the Belmont, which is a better chance to win, I do get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, I think again, we know nothing about horse racing, and it's
Well,
all about
that's all I know.
protecting right. Yeah. But it makes no sense to me why they run the Triple Crown races like 2 weeks, every 2 weeks. Why wouldn't it be once a month?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could. You're right. But
it would make more sense, right?
I think it would give the horses a better chance to recover or get ready. Yeah, whatever the word is. But you're right. You and I are not horse people, bro.
No. But anyway, that's they're doing it to protect the horse. And as you said, if a horse breaks his leg, he's done.
It's over. Barbaro was one of the best horses of all time. Just blew the field away at Kentucky Derby, came out of the gate at the next race and died. And I that broke my heart, dude. I was like, okay, I don't ever want to watch this shit. I don't even ever want to watch it if there's a chance a horse is going to collapse and die. Yeah. I can't take that, man. I'm emotionally scarred by that kind of stuff. I can't unsee it. And you're right, man. Those, Kimmy, these animals are massive. And those little bones on their feet are about that. I mean, really, dude, they're that wide. and their asses are the size of my table out here. They're so muscular and big. These are athletes, and these athletes have tiny little ankles. And I'm telling you, man, it scared the hell out of me if I had a lot of money riding on this stuff and I was worried about that, because I worry about everything. That's what I'm paid to do, is worry for everybody.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I'm worried.
concrete builds firm foundations for generations. You stand on it, we stand by it. All right, JC, let's get to this day in sports, brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Put some star power to work in your financial life at Campus USA Credit Union. This day in 2014,
Oh,
at the NFL draft,
oh,
Carolina, Jadeveon Clowney was the first pick of the Houston Texans.
wow. Yeah. Okay.
He
I
was
remember.
he was pretty good, by the way.
I remember. He has had a good career. He's bounced around to
He's
a
still
bunch of teams.
playing.
Oh, I know. He's had a good career, great career. He's bounced around. He's gone from this team to that team, to that team, to that team. But the one thing that got him drafted, we all remember that silly little bowl game they played in either Orlando or Tampa against Michigan, and he absolutely housed a running back off the line of scrimmage, and that got him drafted one. They all thought, okay, here's the next Lawrence Taylor, basically, or whoever. And yeah, man, he's had a good career. South Carolina, it is amazing. When Coach was there, the guys that came out of South Carolina, and Coach wasn't known as one of the greatest recruiters of all time, but he was a damn good one. But man, some of the athletes the Gamecocks put in the pros during his tenure.
Dude,
And I mentioned two of them just earlier: Sidney
you
Rice,
got you got
Alshon Jeffrey.
Alshon Jeffries, you got
Sidney Rice. You
Sidney
have
Rice, you got Stephon Gilmore,
yeah.
you got Marcus Lattimore,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jadeveon. I mean, you're talking about those dudes played a long time in the NFL.
Yeah, they're real players.
Marcus didn't play long because of his injury, but he would have.
Great player. Just one of the best running backs the conference has ever seen. But his injuries were 100% the problem. Yeah. Terrible.
How did our Peachland Dental picks do in day
Well,
one golf tournament?
The weather is kind of an issue, and this is going to be a theme in the Southeast this weekend for sports. So the weather is wet. That means the course is going to play long. That means our guys who don't hit it far, and they all do. But anyway, Cam Young's fine. He's 3 under, I want to say. The leader is 8 under. So you've got 3 under.
Matt McCarty. You know where he played his college golf, JC?
Georgia.
No, he's a California kid.
Oh, okay. Santa Clara. Okay. UC Santa Clara. There's a bunch of University of Californians out there. But I've got Sepp Straka, and he's 5 under, and I think he's the closest of all our picks. Matt Fitzpatrick is one of my picks. His brother Alex is also 5. Alex Fitzpatrick has all of a sudden turned into
Matt Fitzpatrick is 3 over par.
Right, but his brother Alex is rolling. I got the wrong one.
Can we talk about one of the guys you thought would win this tournament?
Adam Scott.
Yeah, he's dead ass last.
I know. I don't know what happened to him, idiot. But I got X-Man. X-Man is in there, and I got Straka. Those are my 2 horses right now. You're looking good with Cam Young. Where is Siwoo?
Siwoo is 2 under or 3 under.
Okay, so he's right there. I mean, listen, if you're inside of 8 strokes, 7 strokes on this track, you're there after the first round. You're in it, very much alive. So we're alive in our golf picks. Rory, a 4-time winner here, 30%. I said this yesterday on Win with JC. I'm sure you saw it. 30% of his career wins have come on this course. Did you know that? A third of Rory McIlroy, a third of his wins have come at Quail Hollow. Last year, they played the PGA Tour here at that course, and they didn't have this particular tournament last year because of the PGA Championship was there, I should say. But Rory will heat it up. I mean, remember, he's taken 3 weeks off. That doesn't mean he hasn't played golf. He probably went to the course and played a couple times before the tournament, like he did at the Masters. I mean, that was amazing. He played at the Masters. He played Augusta National for weeks before the tournament, and that's why we didn't see him in Texas when they had their swing through Texas. So they're going back to Texas, though, but he won't be there during that time either. So Rory's going to still be in this, I think. But I love Cam Young. Obviously, his length is incredible. But Seb Straka, that's a name we watch, and he really had a great Sunday at Durrell. I think he shot 62, 61, some crazy number. And so I'm riding him, see if he keeps it going.
Andy's question on Facebook Live brought to you by Mel Law. What's our take on Gary Player saying John Rahm and the Live guys should play the Corn Ferry for a year before coming back to the PGA Tour?
Well, they'd be lucky to win on the Corn Ferry the way they play when they get to the PGA Tour.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a penalty. I mean, we'll see what Koepka's going through right now. Koepka has been on the waiting list, so to speak, the last couple of tournaments. Didn't get in. He's playing in the other PGA event in Myrtle Beach. There's a lot of good players in there, but I couldn't even find him on the leaderboard anywhere. Yeah, they're going to pay a penalty when they come back to the tour.
Right. And I mean, why shouldn't they? Because we've got guys who are on the tour now. What, are they going to bump them off just because these clowns decided to take the money and then come back whenever they wanted to? No, sorry. You got to qualify. Live doesn't count. That's not real golf. So for all intents and purposes, the way I look at it is these guys that went on the Live took a couple years off. So if that's going to happen, why would you bump out guys who are on the tour right now who qualified and were able to play? So screw them. Yeah. Make them win. Make them do something. Monday qualifier for John Rahm.
Well, Ricky Fowler had to Monday qualify for the PGA Championship. I think he made it. This was on Monday, and now he's playing at Quail Hollow this weekend. He didn't play real well yesterday. By the way, JC, I don't know if you watched it, but Matt McCarty, the leader, his group, they finished on number 9. They're sitting in the fairway. In front of them, it's Ricky. I can't remember the threesome in front of them, finishing on number 9. McCarty gets up there, middle of the fairway, hits it to about 4 feet.
Mm.
The problem was they were still playing the hole. Fowler was so far over in the woods.
Yeah.
The other 2 competitors were like off the green. Nobody could see.
Sounds like weekend at
yeah, it sounds like something that we would do.
Weekend at the club. So here's Barone 71, who always agrees with us, but here's his take. He does not agree with us. He thinks it's BS to penalize the guys for finding employment elsewhere. Well, they were always employed. They just chose to leave. So his analogy is, did the USFL guys get punished for coming back to the NFL? See, this is the thing where there's only a certain number of spots on these tournaments. And why do these guys get to come back when other dudes have qualified already and are on the roster? Why do they get to just come back and bump them off the lineup?
There's only so many guys on the PGA Tour. I think it's 125.
Right. If you're qualified and playing on it, why should some clown that went to Saudi Arabia just because he has a couple $100 million in the bank bump you out? I'm sorry. Get back and qualify. I'm with Gary. I'm with Gary Player.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Barone 71 on YouTube says, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. If tomorrow y'all could be scholarship golfers, what school or conference would you want to play for or in? Ooh.
Well, I mean, we live in Gainesville and we have a great coach here. And
I would love to play for JC and Dudley, but I'm going to be that guy and talk about facilities and stuff.
Oh,
you're dead ass last in the SEC when it comes to a facility.
I mean, they got so the golf course here in Gainesville is going up for state review. The Board of County Commissioners have approved.
Okay, like I said,
that's going to happen.
Probably will not be alive when it's built.
No, it's going to happen. I've already got all the inside info. I've
Jason,
got
it's a lot to account. We know how things move here, especially when it's sports related.
Well, I listen. I think it will happen. I don't know when. You're right about the facilities. I think one of the things that attracts some of these foreign players is just the name Florida. They don't really know what it's like at Clemson or Georgia or Alabama in terms of
they have the internet and they go on visits.
Okay, I get it, but somehow Florida gets these guys to come, and they're damn good. And we had a Brazilian win the national title as the individual champion here. So you tell me,
she won the SEC.
No, Fred Biondi. Fred Biondi won the whole damn thing.
Oh, you're talking about a few years ago. Yes.
Well, it was a Brazilian player a few years ago won the Natty and individual championship. So look, Florida is well known. JC is well known, and yes, facility wise, Alabama spent $40 million on their golf thing. You've got Georgia, you've got Auburn. I mean, but you know what? This is the way it's worked in Gainesville, seems like, for decades. We're always the last one to the party. Once we get to the party, it gets more fun. How about that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, Clint must just be tuning in on YouTube. He says about Stephen Garcia being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer.
Sucks, man.
I talked to Coach about it. I actually spoke or text with Stephen Garcia yesterday. So
How are his spirits?
his spirits are great.
God, I mean, colorectal cancer, 38, you usually won't get a colonoscopy until you're probably around 50. That's when you get your first one, mostly. But I wonder if he was feeling symptoms. I don't know. The way I think of it is get your screenings done, your PSA for men on prostate, your colonoscopies for everybody when you hit that mid-age, because screenings, this is a true story, my second colonoscopy, because I have diverticulitis, so that's under control now, but my second colonoscopy found 3 precancerous polyps. Now, he clipped them out, no problem. But what if I didn't go, QB? That was 10, 15 years ago. Precancerous polyps would likely turn into cancerous polyps. That's what I'm saying, is that the screenings could save your life. And that's my PSA for today on a Friday.
Did you know gold and silver have outperformed the S&P 500 over the last 25 years? Money Metals specializes in helping first-time investors, plus they're owned by 2 Gator grads, Mike and Stephen Gleason. To learn more, visit moneymetals.com. Dan says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, that OU just opened a multi-million-dollar standalone gymnastics facility.
They win. They're going to spend the money, bro. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, it's great to have Oklahoma and Texas in the league. It really is. I think it raises everyone's standards in game, whether or not on the field, but definitely everywhere else. And the programs that win these championships, these national championships away from football and basketball, are still very important to the athletic department as a whole. And it just elevates everyone else's game. It has to. And I think that's a good thing. It's going to cost money, but what doesn't cost money right now, QB? Everything costs money.
Everything costs money.
Everything costs money.
Everything's always cost money. Not just today, but 25 years ago, it did as well.
Well, it's a little more money these days. I
mean, it doesn't matter if it's gas, ground beef, or Coke. Everything has increased in price over the years. It's just, that's life.
That's why folks need to call me to keep up with inflation, so I can make sure that your net worth doesn't fall behind while your money rots in a bank in some lousy CD or money market.
That's right.
Oh, God. Anyway, that's that. Neither here nor there. So QB, we got, so what are you going to do this weekend? I'm going to Texas.
I might be traveling out of town. We'll see.
You just got back from being out of town.
I'm always on the go right now, JC. The months of February, March, April, May, and June, I'm on the road a lot.
That's outstanding. You don't even like traveling.
I hate it. Absolutely not.
Well, you used to tell me, I mean, folks love these stories between us, but I'll tell you, you used to say to me, dude, you got to fly. I can't imagine driving all that way. Now all you do is drive.
Well, the one reason is because I hate getting stuck in airports and having to sit on a plane when they're like, we'll be taking off in 45 minutes. You sit there 45 minutes, then it turns into an hour and a half, and I'm hungry and I'm uncomfortable.
You're in jail. It's jail. It's jail.
I'd rather be in control of my travel.
I see that. You have a nice vehicle, you can do it, no doubt.
Yes. MSRK on YouTube, brought to by Clark Plummer, says, where's Garcia residing now? Yeah, he's back in Tampa. He's trained quarterbacks a lot.
He may get through this. He's 38. You have a much better chance of surviving these things the younger you are, as long as it doesn't metastasize into some organs or bone or anything like that. That's what I've been told. I've got some experience with relatives and family and people that know about this stuff. Cancer's a killer, man. I hate it. It's the worst.
Amazing we can't figure this thing out.
It's amazing. It's a big business too with that chemotherapy. There's got to be another way. But anyhow, Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's very sad. 38 years old is too young to be dealing with this. But I guess it's easier to deal with it when you're 38 than if you were 68 or 78. So, damn, that's a shame. But, he's, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Okay.
All right, before we get you
So
out of here,
anyway,
Alan on YouTube, brought to you by Koi Plum, says, guys, do you think that adding these teams adds to the cannibalization of the SEC teams on each other? It seems like they beat the crap out of each other. I guess he's talking about Tennessee and Texas and Oklahoma. Yeah.
I mean, the conference is better, it's bigger, but look at what the Big Ten's done. And I said this yesterday. They run football right now. And they've got 3 different winners with national championships, and they expanded to 18. Now, I'm not going to consider some of these schools out in LA and Oregon no, I should do that because the travel's hard and there's athletes out there too. And Oregon is going to be a preseason top 10 pick. And so the Big Ten's dealing with it, so we have to deal with it. These are the 2 conferences that are running college sports, if you want to even call it college sports anymore. So it's QB. I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you think it's worse or better that we have 16 instead of 12 in this league?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother me either. And who doesn't want to go watch the Gators play in Norman, Oklahoma?
I think it's going to be great that OU's going to run out of the tunnel.
Yeah. And last year, Texas came running through here and they got their tails put between their ears.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they got blown out in Gainesville. Welcome, folks. Arch Manning was running for his life the whole damn day. That was one of the best days Billy Napier ever had as a Gator coach. That's very few and far between.
All right, last thing, JC, because we got to get to Edgar Thompson, but on the Titan War text line from Daniel, he says, I'd love for JC's opinion on the conversation you had with Pizza Bill the other day on reinstating the 84, 85, and 90 teams.
1,000% yes.
It makes no sense, JC.
Makes no sense.
They've reinstated Vernon with his scoring records.
Sure.
We're paying players millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And we can't put up a little couple of numbers.
And by the way, everything that happened back then, I know it was against the law, but today it's common. It happens.
But I will say this. The 90 team that I was on
got screwed too.
Nothing wrong.
Right. They just got screwed because of Tennessee and people like that voting against Florida.
JC, you know why we're putting probation? Because of something that Jarvis Williams' child support payment 5 years earlier had nothing to do with the 90 team.
But it was all financial backed and voted by the conference to do whatever they were going to do to Florida. And I know it was an NCAA issue, but the SEC voted, didn't they, to give that conference championship to the Gators or not? And I remember Phil Fulmer in Tennessee, those assholes didn't want to let Florida share in that championship or win it. So screw Tennessee forever. But I will say that team deserves better. But those 84 and 85 teams were the best teams in America. That 84 team was the best team in college football, and nobody remembers it except me and you.
Yeah.
Well, I do. I was here. But that team was not – that nobody was beating their ass at the end of the year. Michigan, who played BYU, and BYU, who won it that year, beat a 6-6 Michigan team in the Holiday Bowl. BYU would have been beaten by 40 points if they had – well, let's just say 20 points if they had played the Gators that year. Well, there's no doubt in my mind, bro. BYU ain't gonna hang.
I'm gonna be that guy. I'm getting ready to start.
Let's do it.
My old age, raising hell, because I know a lot of those guys from the 84, 85 team that absolutely hate the University of Florida.
Well, and you know what? It's not just hate the people that were responsible for what they did, and hate the people today that aren't recognizing them. Okay, I'm fine with that, but keep talking about it. On the Shawshank Redemption, the dude wrote the state a letter to get books for his library over and over again. And guess what happened? I know this is a movie. The state sent him a damn check to open the library.
Here's the thing, JC. It's very simple.
It is simple.
Very simple.
Keep pounding away at it.
To honor and recognize those 3 football teams. It's very simple.
It is very simple.
I mean, that it needs to happen.
Why shouldn't Neil and Ricky get those same honors that everybody else got when they won? I agree, man. And Kerwin, right? Kerwin freaking Bell.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So anyway, have a good weekend, JC. Enjoy the baseball. That's JC. Join us on the Titan More Hotline. Quick timeout. Come back. We'll be joined by Edgar Thompson. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the Morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. We'll be right back. Our premium sponsors are Atlantic Roofing, Campus USA Credit Union, International Diamond Center, J.F. Hayden's Craft Liqueurs, Los Landeros Tequila, Meldon Law, Titan MRI and Imaging, Castaway Sauce, UF Health Orthopedics, Michael Schneider PLLC, Florida Legends Gala and Experience, Money Metals, Sensei Asian Bistro. Our gridiron sponsors are Baker Sports, Florida Cracker Oyster, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Mills Cheesesteaks, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, McDonald's of Gainesville, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, International Gold and Diamond, Advocare, and MGA Wealth. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook or YouTube. Listen to podcasts wherever, on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And to advertise, be sure to call my man Freddie at 352-284-3733.
Naysayers. Setbacks. Injuries. Life throws a lot of hurdles your way. The key is just keep jumping them.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Gainesville's best-kept secret is finally being revealed. Introducing Sensei Asian Bistro. Located in Celebration Point next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Sensei delivers a one-of-a-kind Japanese-French fusion experience that's as refined as it is unforgettable. Indulge in signature dishes like our smoked New York strip, Chilean sea bass, matcha curry, or the crave-worthy chunggang chili chicken. Pair it all with handcrafted cocktails, fresh crudo oysters, or our premium A5 Wagyu tataki. Sensei Asian Bistro. Make your reservation today.
Recent price spikes in groceries, healthcare, gasoline, steel, and lumber tell the story of inflation. As the reality of all this inflation sinks in, investors will be acting quickly to diversify and protect themselves, their families, and their assets. Low transaction costs are one reason Investopedia calls Money Metals the best dealer in America. Don't waste any more time. Start protecting your savings today with physical precious metals at moneymetals.com/go.
Welcome back to the International Diamond Center Studios. Florida Cracker Oyster Bar and Grill is the ultimate spot for seafood and more. No matter the occasion, they're ready to welcome you Florida Cracker style. Go check them out over there at Keystone Heights. Back to the Titan MR hotline. Our man, the Titan MR hotline. Yep, it's our man Edgar Thompson from the Orlando Sentinel. What's up, Edgar?
How you doing, man? It's been a while.
It has. Edgar, let's jump right into it. You know, there's been a lot of stuff all over Twitter the last couple of weeks about the Gators tearing up their weight room and adding new stuff. Well, you have been over in the weight room the last couple of days, probably not lifting weights, but just doing a story. Tell us what you know. I'm not a weightlifting guy, so I mean, hell, the old weight room looked great to me. What can you tell us what's going on over there?
Yeah, I can't, my body's not up for what those guys are doing.
Right.
Most nobody's are. And that's the difference. Like you can go to Gainesville Health and Fitness and there's some badasses in Gainesville Health and Fitness, men and women, right? And the squat racks and all that stuff are fine for them. Not for a 300-pound guy or dude with shoulders wider than this screen. So they had to Rusty Witt, the new strength coach, and Jesse Ackerman, who's the assistant, who's been here off and on. He was here with Boom, came in back a couple years ago, was with the Falcons with Dan Quinn. You know Jesse, right?
I think I've met him. There's so
He's
many of
awesome.
those in-week
He's
guys. I can't
awesome.
tell.
Dude, I walk in there the other day, Black Sabbath cranking, man. He's working out. It's awesome. But anyway, so he's a cool guy. So I talked to him, and their whole thing was they just had to expand the space basically of this place. And that included the equipment and also the safety because they got this new stuff, Sorinex, which is like the thing now, apparently. I'm talking to some dude at Gainesville Health and Fitness yesterday, and he was pretty cool. And we were just kind of sharing a machine. And he's like, we're talking about it. He's wearing Sorinex shorts. So I guess Sorinex are the thing. But anyway, so these racks are a lot wider, and they have these straps now, these nylon straps that you can raise. So to spot you, like if you're doing bench, you're doing squat. So like if anything happens or you just run out of gas, the weight can come down and the straps collect it versus landing on some sort of metal, which is, just more violent. And really you could even like someone's hand could get caught in there, I guess, feasibly. But so these straps allow for more safety, plus the cages are wider and guys can walk in and out of them more freely than rather than squeezing by to help spot. And then sometimes it's like, I don't want to try to squeeze through all there, so I'm not going to spot him right over him like I normally would, and he'll be fine. And then if he starts to get taxed, I'll get in there and help him. It just little safety things. And like he explained, look, we're like, how he say, dragsters? This is a good quote. I got it right here. He said, the guys before were not morons. They were professional strength coaches. But at this level, it's like you're racing top fuel dragsters, and every mile an hour matters. And you just got to get everything buttoned down is the way he wants it. And he flew in here after Summerall said, hey, come with me. He was with him with Troy Witt and with him at Tulane, and they had great success. And he brought him along. He flew in and immediately just noticed we got to make some changes to the equipment. Now, the other thing was they had this turf. If you've been in that weight room, they used to have this 30-yard stretch of turf in the middle of the room. It's like 14 feet wide and 30 yards long. That's when I said feet, 30 yards and 14 feet. And he's like, look, we got the turf right out there. We don't need this in here. And it just limits what you can do in the space and the look, and it just looks sweet. For
So
one.
is the whole weight room set up now?
Yeah, they did all the floor. Now the flooring's this rubber too, from rubber trees. It's really high-end rubber, and it has a 1/4 inch of forgiveness, like a sheath, and it's just a little bit better to stand. Like he's like, we're standing around here 5 hours a day as coaches. It's gentler on us, but these players, 300-pound guys, doing power cleans or jumping and doing, plyometric box jumps, whatever they're doing in there, it's just gentler on them. And it's just, it's an SEC level weight room. And I'm not saying that it wasn't a good weight room before, but now it's an elite weight room. And that's what they're trying. John Summerall's in there lifting with the team too. You know about that.
Yeah.
And the coaches love that. They're like, when he's in there at 5:30, 6 in the morning hitting it, the players, it just sets the tone. So in this team, I'm not going to say this team wasn't strong or it wasn't weak, but I mean, it wasn't in shape, but they didn't win a lot of games, a lot of close games they lost. And sometimes that comes down to, just having that extra, half gallon in the tank at the end the other team doesn't have. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Witt's a serious character. He's a Green Beret background. Everyone knows that by now. 34 years old when he went into the Green Beret program. So he was older than the drill sergeant, I guess, when he first got there. And he served 2 tours in Iraq, and he's a serious dude. And he wanted this thing the way he wanted it to get the maximum out of this team. So it's a big commitment, and we'll see how it pays off. Time will tell.
We got a text here on the Titan Mart text line from Mike. He wants to know, Edgar, do you know what the cost of this transition in the weight room, how much it cost, and what did they do with the old equipment?
I don't know what they did with the racks. They have 16 new racks, and then they're kind of double-sided. So it's kind of like 32 new play operating areas. I don't know what they did with the old one. Price tag, TBD. I'm going to find that out if they'll share. And then the weights themselves, I think, are a lot of the weights are the same.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hey, look, it's a new world order here with the Gators, and they're just like just a refresh on everything.
Kanye Ron on YouTube brought to you by Quality Plumbing says, can we anticipate less injuries during the season now? I'll let you chime in on that. My thoughts on that, sometimes you can't control it. I don't know if strength training can help, but I'll say this. I didn't lift weights at all. All I did was jump rope. That's all Coach Spurrier, and I never missed a game. And I weighed 175, 180 pounds playing in the SEC. I think some people are just injury prone. Freak things happen. And I think Gator fans, they pay attention to their team, right? Other teams have injuries as well. It's a violent sport. People are going to get hurt. I also will add, in today's world, the athlete has his posse, his group, his management team that are in their ear saying, if you're not 100%, do not play. You know what I mean, Edgar?
I do. And you're talking to someone who is injury prone. And I'll tell you why. Because I do too much. I'm opposite. I'm the opposite of you. I like to go to the gym, and then it's like, oh yeah, I need to. I'm in there too long. I've been doing that since I was young, and I got all these overuse issues. I mean, I'm skinny as a rail. No one would know I go to the gym all the time, but I do. And you can overdo it. And this is what I was going to go to. The schedule's changed over there. So they get in there early and hit it, and they practice, and then they're out 11 a.m. The past regime, they would get in there, I'm sure, early, hit it, and then they'd be back later in the day and practice and do other stuff. And I heard there was a lot of running too, maybe at the end of practices, some things like that. I don't want to be totally inaccurate, but I heard there was just a lot of maybe overtraining a bit. And the day was really long. Okay. So they don't want to stretch the days out endlessly, because their philosophy is that's when injuries can happen too. When the day just gets so long and dragged out and you're losing focus and your body's a little bit tired. He's like, we're out of here at 11 a.m. and I want these guys to go home and take a nap. He's like, sleep is the best thing these kids can do. Sleep, nutrition. He's like, supplements, creatine. Okay, fine. He's like, we're not into like all this other woo-woo stuff. I mean, they're basic, man. Eat well, get tons of sleep, keep your schedule tight, keep your mind fresh. He goes, we're going to grind on these kids. He even had a great line. He's like, we're going to start hitting it May 11th. I guess there's discretionary 2 weeks, but excuse me. He said starting May 25th or May 18th, it's all football. He goes from then until the playoff. That's what he said, until the playoff.
Yeah.
And he goes, that's the goal. So anyhow, they have different ideas, and we've seen that with Summerall. He just has a different approach.
Yeah, I like his approach.
We'll see if it works.
Yeah.
I'm confident that it's going to be better. We'll see how good.
I like the approach. Do what we ask you to do and then get away from it. It reminds me so much of the Coach Spurrier days. a lot of coaches in today's world think because Nick Saban's staff stayed there till 2 o'clock in the morning, everybody needs to stay there till 2 o'clock in the morning. I totally disagree with that. Practice, do your meetings, whatever you need to do that day, and then get the hell out of there. I think it keeps you fresh. Okay, MSRK says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, strength not always translate to a good football player. I agree 1000%. There are guys back in my day, whether it was at Florida or in the NFL, more at Florida, that were strong as oxes, but they never touched the field because they weren't good football players. But if you're a good football player and you're strong, that definitely helps. Joseph says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, talking about injuries, very true, but we saw a lot of 3 players out for the opposing teams while the Gators had 18 players out. Yes, I would never believe any of those injury reports because I know the league tells you if Edgar Thompson tweaked his ankle at practice, he's supposed to go on the injury report. I don't think every coach does that. Would you agree with that, Edgar, or do you think I'm offline there?
I mean, there's penalties with that, but
how are they going to know?
Remember what Belichick used to do? Put Brady on the injury report like every week.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, look, his thing. Back to your point about stronger, or the listener's point. I mean, he's like about getting these guys stronger and leaner. He's like fat doesn't fly, I think was his line. And he said they've all gained 6.6 pounds of lean mass and lost 6 pounds of fat. So again, I think Tyler Miles was quoting a lot of stats along those lines too. But his goal, Wits, is to make those gains between late May and the start of camp in August or late July or whatever. And he said that's pretty ambitious, but he'd like to do that. And but you know, he says everybody's doing this. I mean, there's really no, like, everyone, weightlifting's kind of the same. Everyone's kind of doing the same stuff, but you're just trying to get that edge any way you can, man. I mean, these guys are all elite athletes at all these schools. All the top schools have good players and good athletes.
Miapa is proud to sponsor Gator athletes at all Gator baseball home games. When the Gators win, you win a free cup of Cuban coffee from any Miapa location. Just show your ticket. Go Gators, go Miapa. A few more minutes with Edgar Thompson here on the Titan Lamar hotline. On the text line, this is from Rick, says, the national media is reporting that the Jets, Cardinals, and Dolphins are kicking the tires on drafting Sorsby for the supplemental draft. If you're one of those teams, would you want Sorsby, or if so, what round would you invest in him? I think he's very talented. And those 3 teams you just mentioned, the Jets, Cardinals, and Dolphins, have quarterback issues. So we'll see. But I think he's very, very talented. Edgar, we got a question here, switching gears out of football to basketball. I think it's Neo 476 on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, is Chinyalu a lottery pick? I will say absolutely not. And if so, what are his chances he returns to UF? He's not a lottery pick.
No, I think they're kind of banking on him returning, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't think he gets drafted. Or
I think he could get drafted, but a lot's going to be determined starting Saturday, or starting, what is it, Saturday? Sunday? Does the combine start Sunday? It's the 10th to the 17th. So let's say he goes to the combine, man, and just dominates the glass like he did all season, and is posting double doubles. I think his offensive game needs work, but it's improved. His free throw shooting was up to around 65% last year, and it was in the 50s prior. He improved, and his defense is like excellent. His post defense, I mean, he's defensive player of the year in the nation. So, and that's like, you'd think that'd be a shot blocker. He's not a big time shot blocker. I mean, he blocks a few, but Condon blocks more shots than he does. He plays above the rim more than Chinyalu. I think the guy's going to have to play lights out to push himself into even first round consideration. I mean, he's like a mid second round guy right now on all the mocks you see.
I love Ruben. I think he's a phenomenal, as you said, he has improved dramatically. I think he's a phenomenal college basketball player. I just don't see him translating to the NBA. Now, doesn't mean he can't make a career overseas playing, But if you watch NBA games, even those big dudes, his size, they have some scoring ability. I think he's got to improve there, but it'll be interesting to see. But I think he comes back, and I think he'll be a Gator next year.
I think I think they're counting on that.
Yeah,
But he does have an NBA skill with his rebounding. And a
correct.
lot
Yeah.
of times you do hear like if you have an NBA skill, so to speak, they'll try to build around it. We'll see. He might get a shot. I think he's got the side, he can run the court too. But yeah, I mean you got 6, 10, 11 guys, he's in that range, obviously, who can just step out and just hit jumpers
Mhm.
like repeatedly. But I'll tell you this, Al Horford wasn't much of a scorer when he left Florida. I didn't think. I mean, right? He was a better scorer than Ruben, but
A
he
lot.
wasn't a guy. And now he's like he can just hit threes all day.
Mhm.
So, yeah, guys develop, but we'll see with Ruben. I mean, he's still a young guy, but I think he could benefit from another year of college, and the Gators certainly would benefit.
Edgar, you got any good stuff you're writing on that people can go check
I
out?
mean, I'm doing this weight room thing when we hang up. I'm actually wanting to go out to this game tonight and maybe write something on Aiden King. I haven't seen I went to a baseball game the other night just for someone invited me to go. It was cool. We were sitting behind home plate. It is when you sit right there behind home plate and watch these guys, even if it's North Florida, just throw a baseball and do the stuff they do. I mean, it's a skilled sport. It's impressive. But yeah, I might do that. I'm actually going to write a little something for Monday on the fact is impressive. The women are ranked third and the men's second nationally in golf going
Yeah.
into the NCAA's. I mean, 2 and 3. I bet you that is probably never happened at this school. It's the first time they're both in the top three. Now they've been in the top 10, but they were both number one seeds in 17. That guarantees you nothing. And they take these breaks in golf, in college golf particularly, where they're just like not playing for long stretches. So to be tournament ready, sometimes might not be as sharp. But they had 5 kids who landed on the Palmer Cup,
That was incredible.
which is amazing. And Paula Francisco continues to tear it up. She qualified for the U.S. Women's Open as well as got a spot in the Palmer's Cup. So she's a beast. And there's a lot of talent with that golf program. Now they're going to get a golf course. Gainesville Sun reported last week. If you saw that story,
I'm still not holding my breath on that one.
they approved it.
I'm ready for them to just stick a shovel, just one shovel in the dirt, and I'll be happy.
You don't think they're going to do it?
I don't trust anything in Alachua County getting done when it comes sports related.
Well, they need to get it done. You saw the $47 million facility Alabama just opened.
Oh yeah, we're so far behind the times, and it's amazing, amazing, the kind of golf course that our superintendent has over there for the kids on that piece of land. And from a facility standpoint, it's amazing what both men's and women's golf teams have done without a state-of-the-art facility. So hopefully it does, like I said, start moving dirt, people. Then I'll feel much better once they start moving dirt.
Yeah, they can recruit really well to a facility that's subpar by the standards of the teams they're trying to beat.
No doubt. Edgar, good stuff as always, my friend. Appreciate your time. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me, Shane.
There's Edgar Thompson from the Orlando Sentinel joins us on the Titan MR hotline. Castaway Hot Sauce. Try their signature ball kicker hot sauce inspired by the HBC Steve Spurrier and his famous kick in 1966. Again, thanks to Edgar and JC for joining the program. Appreciate y'all chiming in as well. We'll see you on Monday, folks. Have a great weekend.